Hi guys. So my ARI grant was for coding supplies and robots. My area of focus was coal mining was a big part of our livelihood in eastern Kentucky. And since coal mines have been shut down and a lot of people have been out of jobs, I thought that if I could teach coding and programming to my students, it would help give them skills so that they could stay in our area and get jobs later in life. I thought that it would help them be successful and competitive in the world because traditionally, people who code do not start coding in middle school. They don't start till late high school or college. So if we can start in middle school, then they would be ready to go even further before they got into the job world. My action plan was to buy these coding supplies, get them into coding, and each set of students would have a project that they would be responsible for doing. And I would see if they were successful based on the websites and apps and projects that they have built. That's my data. Our first one that we bought and used was the Code Gamer. And if you look at it, it looks like a little game controller. So I have two students who they're going to talk to you just a moment about it. Miss Kaylee Pennington and Miss Lakin Addington. Come on up, girls.
Basically what Code Gamer is a hands-on learning program that gives an insight to kids what coding really is. From our experience, the building part of the controller was quite easy, but however, the apps and the games that it came along with was very difficult.
Going from what she said on how difficult the programming was, we have two websites that we use called Hour of Code and Code.org, which simplifies coding to help kids better understand it in the classroom.
Good job, girls. So they think that maybe starting with Code.org and some of the more simple programs is better than just jumping right in. Because we figured out that playing on a game controller is a lot harder than just plugging it all together. You have to really code the stuff. We also did robots, and Miss Allie Howe and Miss Kansas Stumbo is going to talk to you about our robots.
In our coding class, while building the robot, it was very difficult. There were small pieces and large pieces that had to be in the right place. If not, the robot would not function correctly. We had to debug it because we messed it up to where the gears would not work. Debug is very important because without debug, it won't function the program for it. Yeah.
And guys, we figured out how to debug a lot of things while we were working. And debugging's just, if it doesn't work, we fix it. And we had to take it apart and put it back together and take it apart and put it back together, and it finally did work. So there's some pictures. We also built a ham radio. We just did some different hands-on things.